V'yedaber Hashem el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yichul li Terumah. You should take from me Terumah. I mean, the simple understanding, the obvious question is say, V'yidnu li Terumah, right? Correct? You give Terumah, you don't take Terumah. But factually, it's v'yichul li Terumah. Why is it v'yichul li Terumah? Let's say you have tevel. The two things, you tithe it, and then you give it, right? V'yichul means you have to take from your assets, you have to set it aside. V'yichul li. After v'yichul, then you give it. So first we're talking about when you designate it as Terumah, we're talking about the designation of your personal wealth. What do you designate it as? V'yichul li. Rashi, li means lishmi. You designate it for me. Then we'll talk about it. Then we have the gizbarim or whatever you give it to the ones who will take it from you. So it's v'yichul li Terumah. Rashi says v'yichul li Terumah, li lishmi, Terumah hafroshi aprishli monim nedava. So it's hafrosha. You should take, separate, tithe your gold, your silver, whatever it may be, you tithe it. So it's v'yichul li Terumah. Now who gives the Terumah? Who's giving this particular tithe? Meis kol ish asher yidvenu libo. Only the one who's giving out of the generosity of his heart. It's not something which is compulsory. It's not a tax. Only the one asher yidvenu libo tikvos trumosi. You should take my Terumah. Meaning that only then is it called my Terumah. If it's not given out of goodness of your heart, Hashem says I have no interest. That's not my Terumah. It doesn't make the grade. Doesn't qualify as Terumah. Again, doesn't tikvos a Terumah. Tikvos trumosi. Then it's considered Trumosi. It's my Terumah. Otherwise, it doesn't make the grade. Rashi, Yidvenu liba loshen edova, hu loshen rotzen tov. You're giving out of the willingness, the goodness of your heart. Tikvos trumosi, amor, Rabbeinu, shalosh trumos, amuras kan. The word Terumah is mentioned 3 times. Achas Terumah beka lagogoles. That's the machzeh shekel, which was still shenas b'madonim, which the sockets were made. That's what held up the vertical beams, the kroshim. Oshim push bel kudei. Achas Terumah semizbeach beka lagogolos lekupos liknos ben korban sim. But the other was again another machzeh shekel that was given, that was put in boxes in which they would purchase the communal offerings. The Achas Terumah HaMishkan, the other was the tithe that was given to build the Mishkan, which was unlimited. Nidvas kol echod v'echod. Yud Gimel Dvorim, now it's important. The Achas Terumah HaMishkan, Nidvas kol echod v'echod. Yud Gimel Dvorim urim be'inyon. Now there were 13 materials that were needed. Right, you're reading Rashi. Yud Gimel. 13. Hamurim be'inyon, kulam hutzru l'melech HaMishkan. They were all needed for the building of the Mishkan, l'bigdei kuno, or to make the vestments for the Kohanim. Didactic band, we see exactly where all of them actually they fall in. Okay? The big day kuna, for instance, Pishton. Linen had no relevance to the building of the Mishkan. Linen had to do with the vestments. So that's what he says, that they're all the big day kuna, but they were all together with 13, because factually the Mishkan couldn't function unless you had the big day kuna. The Kohen can't officiate unless he has his vestments. So that's all part of the building of the Mishkan. It's to provide whatever is needed for the Mishkan to function. Okay? I always mention, the Medrash says, when you left Egypt, I did 13 favors to you. So as I did 13 favors for you, I want you to reciprocate with 13. As I did 13, don't think I'm burdening you. I'm not burdening you. I did for you 13. I want you to reciprocate with 13. But again, we always say, what is 13 always? 13 is always numerically echod. Echod. So the Mishkan, what did it contain? It contained the presence of echod, of the one, right? Of echod. So therefore, the Mishkan had to reflect that the profile of the characteristic of echod. Therefore, it was 13 specifically, 13 materials. We'll do the Mishnah Berurah. Welcome. What took so long? Okay. Okay. I don't mean today what took so long. I'm not saying today what took so long. Overall. Yeah. Not for, it's free will. Either way, it's always free will. You have to give that out of the generosity heart with willingness. Willingness. Hashem says, not you, you have no obligation. You have no obligation. You have no obligation. It's not an obligation. No. You're there either, you know, the famous story, Rebbe Chanan Wasserman. He was in the United States before World War II. In Branovich, literally, they didn't have money for firewood to eat the base measures. They didn't have wood. They didn't have money to put bread on the table to feed the bochum. So he made an appeal in Borough Park. So he made an appeal in a certain shul in Borough Park. This is like in 1937. This is pre-Hasidim. No Hasidim in Borough Park in 1937. And he gave a phenomenal appeal, warmed up the people. The people in this shul had money. And then the rabbi afterwards goes and says, but you realize, even if you give $1, you don't have to give that much. You're also doing the mitzvah. And he kept hammering away at this point. And he immediately undermined all the enthusiasm of the appeal and hardly raised money. And the rabbi, of course, he undermined because the rabbi felt if you give all the money to Abranovich, what's going to be left for him, right? So Rabbi Chanan, and it was obvious. So he had a safe face, so he goes, you realize I didn't mean anything. So Rabbi Chanan says, so I want to explain you something. Who oversaw the building Mishkan? Betzalel. You go in the street, Betzalel. Is everybody a Betzalel? You didn't have the schus. You're not a Betzalel. Finished. That's the answer. There's no claim against you. You didn't have the schus. Person gives it begrudgingly. You know something? You're that kind of guy? Hashem says, I'm not interested. You're not there. You're not there? Okay, so don't give. I'm not obligating you to give. That's the way it is. You're not doing Hashem favors. You understand? It's either this or it's not acceptable.